What? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Welcome from the. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Go! There it is! Boom! Let me talk a little bit more. Let me figure out what the audio's sounding like.
Le sobra la calidad. noches me perturban. Sigo siendo el mismo, solo que cambié los planes y los medios suman.
Y de repente nos vamos de rumba porque se puede hacer lo que me gusta. Los doble caras me caen en la punta y lo peor del caso que de esos abundan.
Si tú no estás, véngase pa' acá. Ninguna mamá, véngase, márcame mi celular. Te quiero acariciar y tú quiero besar. Así nos va con panetón pa' que sepan viejo.
Y así suena la doble P, viejillo. Jálese la gringo.
Check, 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 check. Check, 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 check.
Véngase pa' acá, denle mamá. Llámame, márcame mi celular. Te quiero
Thank you very much. Thank you.
He's asking that it needs to be printed.
I'm going to let him write it in. There's a problem with the registration. Already with Jose. It says supposed to open it up and it didn't open it.
Who's the writing for?
Brian Garcia. Okay. As soon as I'm done with this, I'll give you lots of. Yeah, just the one place.
Sounds good. Yeah. What happened to that?
Massimo.
Yeah.
In about a minute, you want to start with a pregame?
In a minute?
Yeah, a minute or two.
Okay.
Shortly.
It's time to go. Huh? It's time for us to go.
Yeah, but we're ready. Yeah, because I know if it's us, you guys want to say something, but when it's them, you don't say anything.
Brian Garcia. You have his player ID.
season and set your goals. You triumph, you fall, and you learn more about those around you. You become a team. And these two teams know it. Today, no mistakes are allowed because the stakes are very high. From Riverbend Park Stadium in Dalton, Georgia, Kalonji Pro Profile plays North Georgia United. I'm Massimo Ballou. Thank you for tuning in. And we had to postpone the game about an hour 15. Storms, wind, rain. It almost seemed like this game wasn't supposed to happen, and then we're here, finally occurring. And it's an important game, we said, because Kalonji Pro Profile needs to win. Their biggest rival at this point, it's themselves, because Potros, yes, is really close, but if they continue the season and don't allow for small mistakes on the way, they could take, once again, the title. On the other side, North Georgia United, well, the motivations are really high because they as well want to be part of the playoffs. We've seen it years ago. Teams 8th in the playoffs who got in last minute, winning the whole thing later on, and that's something beautiful. That tells you that the underdog is never to underestimate. And we take a second here because the teams gather up all together. Last words from the captains. But soon, it will all be ready to start. Obviously, there are certain players we need to look up the most. For Kalonji Pro Profile, Usman Fall, 8 goals. He's not going to be playing, though, today. Big absent. Gary Jules also absent. But Tamimi will be up there. We look at the top scorer of this season, Nazario Mbomio for Potros at 12 goals. Ronald Maradiaga at 10, and Emmanuel Lom at 9. They scored in the season 29 goals at North Georgia United. 19 came from these two. And we must consider that Emmanuel Lom has skipped the last 5 games because he had a foot injury. He broke his foot, in fact, but now he's back in the game after last week. He subbed in. Hopefully he's finding the condition. Hopefully we'll see him today at his prime because he's one that can change the dynamics of the game. And here they are, Maradiaga and Lom on the ball, ready to start it all. Just waiting for the referee to whistle. And there'll be 90 minutes of soccer in Dalton, Georgia.
But I'm telling you, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. You can forfeit the game if you want to. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing that one. I'm not. I cannot. I will see if they have extras. Yeah, I cannot do that. Why are you coming here telling me they came in 5 minutes late? You didn't complain and you're telling me that I have to put pennies? I don't have.
And the game seems to be postponed just a few minutes again. Bruno Kalonji is not happy about the fact that the game started a few minutes late, and the referees are going to have to listen to him. In fact, it seems like he's going to receive a yellow card before the beginning of the game, something very unusual that you don't see very often, especially like a guy from Bruno Kalonji who has a very great reputation in the industry. And the referees will have to note that in the pads. And nothing like that will be allowed anymore. No complaints allowed anymore for Bruno Kalonji, the coach of Kalonji Pro Profile. And maybe now, after all these delays, we can start the game and have some fun watching soccer. Here we go. Maradiaga goes back. Playing from the defense, Green goes long out wide. It's a throw in. Good, the pressure from Kalonji Pro Profile. We know it. The game of soccer is evolving real quick. And now it's not as much about tiki-taka, but about the pressure, the high pressure. And we've seen it with Luis Enrique in Barcelona, who's changed the game. He won the Champions League with Barcelona when Neymar, Suarez, and Messi were there. But then with PSG, his game was completely different. Played on pressure, played on speed. And here comes a really good opportunity, but it's all stopped. at the midfield of North Georgia United. Wearing pink today. That's a foul. He got shoved in the back. Avaloy gets the foul. And the men in pink are able to get the possession back. Once again, that's going to be a big factor in the game, this continuous pressure by Kalonji Pro Profile. Velasquez goes in the middle. Little struggle there coming out. He doesn't want to miss the pass there, and he doesn't. Here comes the pressure, though. Great chance for Kalonji Pro Profile. 1-2, and it absolutely worked. The strategy by Bruno Kalonji to put the pressure as high as possible brought results back. It's 1-0 after only 1 minute and 40 seconds on the clock. Let's look at the replay. Mistake here while they're trying to build the maneuvers. Keeping the ball way too long. And then as soon as the chance comes, the goal arrives too. 1-0 for Kalonji Pro Profile. And this is exactly how they wanted to start the game. But North Georgia can't lose their focus. In fact, they're trying to build a through ball. But there's a good interception by Yejero. Maradiaga goes close to the ball, passes it back. Here they go on that right side of the field, looking for spaces. Here comes the cross in the middle, but it's deflected. Still pressure by North Georgia. Good exchanges there in the field. The through ball for Maradiaga, a little too long. Now Kalonji Pro Profile with their real first possession of the game. Here comes a long kick on the right for White. But Mendiola's there, catches it, lets his team breathe. Goes long for Maradiaga. The pressure there, but here they get the ball back. And Avaloy needs to be careful there because you can't keep the ball too long when the pressure is that high. And it continues here. Tamimi. For White.
Karim, look at where you are again. You're coming too deep, man. Stay up.
And Kalonji, Coach Kalonji calling in that his player was being too deep. Maybe wanted him to be a little wider to receive that pass. Ball for White. Sit out. Maradiaga takes it back. Good chance for a counterattack. Maradiaga goes wide on the right. Avaloy loses it. And now Tamimi can go. Tamimi could go for the shot and then tries the dribble and takes it back. One-on-one, then goes wide.
Keep it again.
Georgia takes it back. 1-2, very well here. Ramos trying to find a movement again on the right. for Maradiaga, who so far is the player all the other ones are looking for. They know he's in good shape. They know he can find a good play. It's going to be a throw-in for North Georgia United. Few words exchange between Orellana and the ref. Not sure what the talk of the moment is, but it ended. Avaloy. And here comes back the ball. Ramos. Looking for space out here. Lemus. And the touch is wrong. But they're still in an offensive area. Kalonji. The son of Bruno Kalonji. He has many children, and many of them play soccer. They follow the passion of the father. But here we come with a through ball for Blake White. Good chance here, and what a save. Unbelievable save by Green. Shot from the distance. And this time is Mendiola saying no. North Georgia needs to be very careful. Several chances already allowed for Kalonji pro profile. Obviously, they're trying to understand tactically what is the strategy the team coached by Kalonji is. They've been having a bit of a hard time getting outside of their middle half. To Mimi. Goes back. Kalonji. Ejero. Now Ramos. On the side. Mimi gets it. Passes to Kalonji. Having a little bit of possession now. Making the players of North Georgia run a little bit, because when you don't have the ball, that's when you're really running. Chasing the ball is one of the worst ways to waste energies. And keeping possession, if you have players of good quality, can be one of the best strategies to get the opposition tired. Mimi, Kalonji, they go on the 1-1. Another ball taken back. Good opportunity now. He gets closer to the goal, goes for the shot, and what a save by Mendiola. With his right hand, it was going on the top right corner, and Mendiola found the right timing to jump on that one. Beautiful chance, beautiful shot, but what a save by Mendiola. Curving right on top there. Mendiola said no. But it's not over. Corner kick. Arms raises. Is it a scheme? Chance for a counterattack now. Lom, great play there. Goes away. Tries to keep it, but then loses the duel. Too many men on him. Wrong pass to Mimi now. Probably try to get something out of that. A corner maybe. He's unsuccessful. Ball for North Georgia United. Goal kick for North Georgia United.
Turn around.
We were discussing the fact that Kalonji is playing with number 27, son of Bruno Kalonji. He has several children. One of them is sitting on the bench right now, Braden Kalonji. You can't say he does favoritisms because one of his sons is on the bench. Obviously, younger, more inexperienced, but I'm sure he's going to have his chance as well. Interesting, the story of Bruno Kalonji. Comes from Congo as a refugee and then decided, inspired by his coach in Congo, who gifted him a pair of soccer cleats after his first practice in soccer, that he wanted to do good in the world, in the world of sports. And he decided to do this through Kalonji Academy. He's helping kids. And here comes Emmanuel Lom, Maradiaga. These two need to communicate better because that's the way they can hurt Kalonji Pro Profile. Long ball for Tamimi. One-on-one now. Blaze cross in the middle, and here it comes again. Beautiful goal, this time by Owanga Medard. It's a beautiful long ball for Tamimi, who does the right movement, right timing. Cross in the middle, Blaze, deflection, and then Medard rounds the goal. And now it's not looking good for North Georgia. Again, pressure from Kalonji. They try to get it back. Tamimi's are there. But this time, Mendiola takes it away from his opposition. And they're looking very good right now, Kalonji Pro Profile. Good movement there by Avaloy. Michael Avaloy goes for Lom, but he was offside. He did not reach the ball, but still, the referee saw it. He was behind the line of the defenders, and so it's an offside. Long ball in. Maradiaga's there, obviously. Possession's lost. Good ball there. White. He's in front of the goal. White. Beautiful save by Mendiola. On the one-on-one. This time he was able to stop them. Or Georgia takes it back. And now they can go. He's by himself, but does take the throw. Throw for North Georgia United, pardon. Lemos takes care of this one. Again for Maradiaga. Tucks it in. And then he could have been shoved in the back. The referee says no. 2-3 players on him. They know he's dangerous. They know he's the one who could invent something out of nothing. High-paced game so far. And here's, again, a wide pass for Blake goes in the middle again. And this time I think there's a foul. A little bit of tension in the middle of the field. The referee comes to separate the players. Very tough contrast there on the goalkeeper. Once again, we saw the through ball for Blake White, who did, again, the right movement. A lot of space there in the middle of the field. He was waiting for that ball. He finally receives it. He's looking at who's in the middle, crosses it in, and then just when the goalkeeper's about to catch it, I think it was Medard who came at full speed and basically went through him like a train. And Coach Kalonji wasn't happy at all about the decision taken by Blake White. He did say he was supposed to kick that ball. The angle was good enough to kick the ball and maybe find a good corner. Definitely tension there as we see back with the replay. I think there's going to be a couple of yellow cards coming from the ref. He's going to need to put order. It was Kantar Green who got a bit upset there as he saw his goalkeeper going down on the floor. Something normal when you see one of your teammates receiving a foul like that, but there was no bad intentions. It was just a desire to score by Medard that brought him there. And Mendiola still on the ground. Hopefully, it's nothing to worry about. His teammates are around him. The ref is giving him time. I don't know if he's, you know, the rule with players is that when they're injured, they should go outside of the field at least for a little bit. But in the case of the goalkeeper, that is much harder because it would be very hard to play without one. So obviously, there's going to be a couple yellow cards. And then we're going to take back into the game as soon as Mendiola is feeling better. And hopefully there will be no need for substitution. In the meantime, Bruno Kalonji is taking his time to tell his players what to do and how to be prepared for next plays in the game. We were saying about Kalonji, he came from Congo with only his sister as a refugee. Had many difficulties here and there in the United States, but he did know that soccer was his passion. He did know that he wanted to work in the industry, and he had a big heart. So he decided to try to transform his dream into helping others, helping the community. And obviously, many children of his playing, loving the game just like their father. Going back to important results, important games during the season for Kalonji Pro Profile. The win against Filial Pachuca, Georgia, and last week. They won thanks to 2 goals of Juanja Medard, who's also marked his name up there today. The tie against Potros. That time it was Thierry Jules to score. And after tying it up, Nazario Mbomio, even there was a goal right away at the beginning of the game. Potros just behind. Again, we said it at the beginning, no mistakes allowed. Because Potros is just waiting for it. A slip. Just something, a sign that would lead them to find the motivation they need to win this title. And it seems that there's going to be a red card. Pardon. Got tricked by the graphic. Looking at the referees. Daniel Benson and the main referee, assistant referees. We have Ethan Burns, Will Herndon, and the fourth, Aiden Moore. We're talking about important game, the one against the Georgia Revolution, where they managed to score 4 goals, where they, lost, and scored 3 goals against the 4 of Georgia Revolution. And that's the only game they lost this season. And it's interesting to know Georgia Revolution is the only team that was able to beat Kalonji Pro Profile this year and in the last season too. But outside of that, the record looks pretty clean this year for Kalonji Pro Profile. Only 1 loss, and that was it. Seems here that we're going to not see Mendiola defending the goal anymore. At least that's what it looks like right now. And I wonder who the substitute will be. We've taken a long break here. Around 4 or 5 minutes of break, but I'm sure that's going to be added back in after the end of the 45. We're talking about Potros. Potros will be playing against Fountain City because they don't want to allow Kalonji Pro Profile to run away and close the chase for the title. And on the other side, though, they will find Fountain City, and they have absolutely everything, on the line as well because they're fighting not to be relegated. It burns down there, and they don't want to be there. Only 1 point separates from Albion SC, which is 14th at the moment. So they need to look ahead of them and behind them as well. Then we have Georgia Revolution on the chase too, behind Potros. 3rd right now, 4 points away from 1st, Kalonji Pro Profile. And they'll play against SSL. They're just right there between relegation and playoffs. Very thin line that divides hell and paradise. Or Georgia right now still taking their time to understand who will be the substitute defending the goal. We can give a look at all the games. Filia Pachuca against Columbus Elite, which was supposed to happen today. A lot of these games are supposed to happen today, and then because of weather reasons, which had us playing at 7 instead of 6, had to be postponed. Lemania, Georgia, who probably going to want to get the 3 points this week after a surprising loss just 1 week ago. Not even. They play some beautiful soccer, moving the ball from one side to the other, looking for cut-ins from the wingers, quick, fast-paced, modern soccer. This is a longer break than we would have expected. Several reasons today are keeping us from watching 90 straight minutes of soccer. And I believe the problem is that North Georgia United doesn't have a second goalkeeper. And so there's a bit of a talk on who will be taking the role, maybe being the hero, or having to take in 2, 3, 4 goals and having to look at the disaster in first person. In the meantime, Kalonji Pro Profile is passing the ball around, trying to stay warm while they wait for the opposition to gather it together and have find somebody to defend the post. There seems to be a little bit of confusion. Not very usual to find ourselves in these situations, but could happen. At pre-professional level, ups and downs. It's the beauty of the game. We've actually seen players substituting the goalkeeper several times in soccer. Just a few years ago, Olivier Giroud, striker of France, had to play goalkeeper in a game, I believe, that was between Milan and Genoa. And he did a really good job, actually, saving a last-minute chance that allowed his team to win the game. Other times I remember Rodrigo Palacio, who had to take that role and save the free kick. Sometimes we've learned that certain players on the field would have been great just standing, defending the post. I mean, they're all athletes. There's no question about that. But the goalkeeper is such a different position compared to all of them. And it has to be analyzed so differently. In the meantime, I'm looking at a beautiful stop by Karim Tamimi. Sakua did about 50 yards kick in the middle of the field. Tamimi stopped it with the inside of his foot like it was nothing. Absolute class. But the talks are still going. In the meantime, as we wait, we can throw in some news, interesting news about the league. We had the Spanish La Liga side, Villarreal CF, is making waves from across the Atlantic by utilizing the United Premier Soccer League to help identify and develop talent in North America. And obviously the goal is to professionalize the player development experience from the grassroots level up. And the UPSL has become a key piece of that strategy. And we love to see that because that is telling us that soccer is growing in the United States. Soccer is becoming bigger. And who knows what will happen after the World Cup when all the fans will find the passion and understand the passion for the sport, the passion that other people from all over the world have for this beautiful sport. Latest news, interesting news actually. This is something I've never heard since I've been playing soccer and calling soccer. One of the coaches of North Georgia United is also a goalkeeper, and he will step in right now. In fact, it is the main coach who's a goalkeeper. Kenneth Fosuene, head coach of North Georgia United, is doing what we've seen in FIFA, no? When we played Ultimate Team and we get the coach and we make him play as a goalkeeper. Beautiful. And see, the imperfections make me love this game even more. It's going to be interesting to see what will happen, what type of performance we could expect. But Fosuene, head coach of North Georgia United, will step in as goalkeeper to substitute Mendiola. Incredible. Same jersey, still 26. And this is going to be very interesting to see. Who knows? And no, maybe no. There's still indecision. We still are not sure what will happen because he did give his gloves to the other team. He's calling for a little bit of time. Bruno Kalonji wasn't happy about the waste of time at the beginning of the game. He already got a yellow card, so he is partially right. We have been wasting a lot of time. In fact, I think we had to stop the game at minute 18th, and we're at minute 32. And Bruno Kalonji, we know, is having to meditate to not say anything against the referees because he's been feeling it the entire time probably. Here they are talking one to another, Fosuene and Bruno Kalonji, talking about the dynamics. It seems that Fosuene will not be the goalkeeper. Fosuene will not be the goalkeeper of the team. It was a thought that circulated at a certain point. We saw him wearing the jersey, number 26, worn previously by Mendiola, but now we're back in. Here comes a chance. Tamimi. Offside. It definitely would have been negative for the morale of North Georgia United to receive a goal right like that immediately by Karim Tamimi. Not looking good right now for the men in pink. Medard. One-on-one. Medard goes by himself. Medard shoots it. Post and then the miss by White. What a great opportunity to put the lock on this game. We saw Medard try to double step. Here he receives the ball. Right? Gets the ball. Double step. 1-2. Goes for the shot. Hits the post. And then White just kicked it in the stars. Alle stelle, how we say in Italy. And Kalonji profile will try probably now to attempt some shots from the distance a little bit more, knowing that the goalkeeper is usually one who doesn't practice. Ramos. Irving. Kalonji. Irving again. Looks for a ball in the middle. It's not the right one. And pressure again by Karim Tamimi, who's always there. He's like parsley. You find him everywhere. Here comes Maradiaga. The ball is long. Will he be able to reach it? Ball for Ramos. Ramos looks up. Tamimi tries to put it down. Tamimi, shoulder on shoulder, and he does obtain a corner kick. Good job by him. Green tried to stop him. He's been having a hard time in these 35 minutes, whereas we actually probably played only 20 or 22. Ramos. Ramos. Could go in the middle. Ramos wins it there. Goes for the shot. Ramos, too high. Once again, good idea there. And now that I'm taking a close look at it, it looks like Marvel Velasquez, center back, is goalkeeper right now. I'm not sure whether it's the first time or he's been playing around in practice and the teammates thought it was a good idea to put him in the goal. Other danger here, White, Tamimi. Avaloy receives a foul there. Again, he's keeping the ball, trying to find his teammates, but then he's unlucky because too many players compress him. At that point, all the solutions are closed. We've seen it happening over and over during this game. Green for Avaloy. This time, just one touch for him. Velasquez. And they loses it again. Medarda goes back. Ejero. Ramos. Cherry. Irving. They move the ball from one side to the other, hoping to find some space there. Ball in. Too long this time. Medard was trying to get on that as well. Incredible the place of this player. Ramos now. Goes away Ramos. Good ball in. But it goes out. Nobody was there in the right position to take that opportunity. And so Ramos's cross goes out. It's a goal kick for North Georgia United. And the coach is coming in. We've been talking about it. We didn't know if it was just some gossip going around the field, but it's official. Kenneth Fosuene, coach of North Georgia United, is defending the goal of North Georgia United. And this is something we will be talking about not only during the game, but probably afterwards. Somebody should probably write an article about this. He's played goalkeeper all his life. He just probably wasn't planning on putting the gloves on today. He got 1 minute or two for himself to warm up, and he's back in putting the gloves on. You know, it's like one of those dreams we have, we soccer fans. One day our career is over, and all of a sudden they call us in to substitute somebody who got a red card or got injured, and here it is, our time to get back in the game, have fun. There's something romantic about this. Fosuene goes up. Long, and it's a good kick, too. There's a handball. And now maybe with the goal defended by their own coach, North Georgia United will find the courage to open this game, reopen this game, and put it on the 2-1. Emmanuel Lom right now on the ball. Goes for the scheme. Goes on the left. But Gonzalo Lemus had no idea that was going to happen. And so he was unprepared. 41 minutes on the clock at this moment. Kalonji, good exchanges. White, Tamimi. Tiente. Goes wide and finds his teammate. Long ball for Tamimi. Tamimi puts it down. Tamimi, and Fosuene is prepared. Catches the ball. He's about to pass it immediately. And it's going to be interesting to know if he's going to give directions to his team from the goal. As a good goalkeeper should, by the way. Now, the accusation to many goalkeepers is that, even though they may be good in between the posts, they don't have the personality to call in their defense and organize the game. But I'm sure from the perspective of a coach, this cannot be a problem. Swan out wide. Ramos calls for the ball, but it goes to Lom. Too long, though. Here they are. They get the ball back. Risky pass. Maradiaga puts it down. Tries to go wide, and he does. Lemus goes in the middle. Maradiaga again. Better pace now from North Georgia United. Good 1-2 there. As for the through ball, is a little bit unlucky. White. Beautiful defending by Green, who gets that through ball that was looking very dangerous with a tackle. Sliding tackle. Maradiaga's offside, so he can't be interested in that ball. Medarda, Tamimi. Ramos calls it, but he doesn't receive it because the ball goes the other way. Tiente. Povolowski. Ramos now. Looks for White and finds him. White goes away. White. Fosuene. And I really hope nothing happens to Fosuene, because in that case, they're probably going to have to ask me to be the goalkeeper. And nobody will be calling the game at that point. Maybe our cameraman. We'll figure it out. Tamimi. Povolowski. Looking for options. Ball in. Player goes down. Medard. And he loses it. And now let's see if Emmanuel Lom can make something happen. Good pressure there. And it's still North Georgia. Maradiaga. Exchanges there. Lam. Looks for a ball that was cutting between the defender and the striker. This is something else that is very unique. 17 minutes of added time. And I think this is the first time the fourth man is showing 17 minutes like that. Ramos. White goes back. Povolowski on the right. Tiente. Through ball for Medardo, who touches it, keeps it in, and then shoots it. Good defending there. They closed them up in two defenders. Medard still maintained the possession of the ball. He had a shot, but the angle was very tight, and then he kicked the ball on the outside of the net. Good ball for Emmanuel Lom. It's not over. Maradiaga. Maradiaga. Avaloy again. Too long. Too long. You know, outside of Fosuene today being the goalkeeper, he has a good reputation as a coach. In the spring of 2024, he took over a team that had finished bottom of the table. But then he was able to bring North Georgia United to the Premier Division Championship Final and the UPSL National Round of 32. And thanks to that, he was named the 2024 Premier Division Fall Season Coach of the Season. And that's absolutely impressive by him. Now, I have not been able to do enough research on his technical abilities as a goalkeeper, but I guess I'm going to figure it out today with you guys. Tiente moves the ball around again. That's what they've been doing today, keeping the possession. At the beginning, a lot of pressure, and then now more possession. Open out wide for Ramos. Ramos for Tamimi. Too many men on him. Goes back. Kalonji. Medard. Goes Medard. Fosuene. Safe. He hasn't been challenged properly yet. But so far, he's been giving security, a sense of security. Good job by Lemus, Gonzalo Lemus, who got that throw. And we haven't been able to see the best yet out of Emmanuel Lom. We know he's capable of great things. Again, coming back from an injury. Here he is. High pressure on him. Karim Tamimi. Good movement by Medard. Medard and Green reaches it, but decides to kick it on the outside. It's a corner kick instead of this side of the field, which would have allowed for a throw. Good timing there on that chase. Maybe a little bit worse on the decision taking towards the end. All the towers in the middle. Medard, Tamimi, White, Kalonji, Tiente. Fosuene tries to reach it. Chaos. But the ball is out. North Georgia can breathe. Or maybe not. Tamimi. Beautiful ball from Medard. But this Tiente, pardon. This time he was offside. He still tried to kick the ball. Let's give a look back at his cross in the middle. Scheme called. Fosuene comes out. And I think Tiente hit it with a header. The ball bounces on his back. A little bit of chaos. But North Georgia, this time they're safe. Tiente. Statuary and at the middle of the field, Tiente. Tall and technical at the same time, which is a very good combination in soccer these days. When the physical abilities are this important. Tiente, pardon, Tamimi. From Medard, the double step. Medard is going to look for a shot. No, it's a cross. Floated cross. Kicked out. And then Tiente, saved by Fosuene. And he can't do anything on the second one. He calls for the offside. I think there's a bit of a talk between the two referees. But here it is, the first goal received by Fosuene. This time it's Blake White.
All right, guys, we got to shoot, man. Let's go. Shoot the ball.
He was there on the tap-in. Josuene saved it on the first attempt, and then afterwards he bounced it off in the middle of the box. White was careful
Stop complaining and play. Stop complaining.
on his feet,
You wanna complain, come
and he
complain
put that
and
ball
play.
in.
Not a problem. Stop complaining and playing. You're playing on the field, you're complaining.
We were saying about North Georgia United, they've conceded a lot, 29 goals, but they've also scored the 29 goals, which brings their goal difference to absolutely 0 until today, because they already received 3. And so that would mean that their goal difference would be on a -3.
Hey, we're moving the ball too slow. Let's go quicker.
Kalonji calling for speed. He wants that ball to move much quicker. And as we know, the ball moves faster than any player. So carrying the ball means not allowing it to go full speed.
Play the ball quicker.
Sakwe was wide. But Lemos goes on pressure, and he does a good job. Creates a little bit of uncertainty there for Kalonji, but they do a beautiful job coming out. But Avaloy is good. Takes the ball back, passes it on the side for Orellana. You want to see a little bit more of him. Maradiaga. Avaloy. Good ball for Maradiaga. He falls down, but probably slipped, then grabbed the back of the Ijero, falls on him. The ref calls the foul.
Come on, man. Let's go. Let's fix it.
Quinte.
Wanda, let's go. Play the ball quicker. Get out, Kareem. Get out. I don't need you there anymore. Get out.
And you have to appreciate by Tamimi, even though he is the main striker, he does come down to get the ball to facilitate the game building of his team. To create options in the middle of the field. Something we haven't seen Maradiaga doing very much. He's been looking for the right opportunity. He has a different style of playing. Lom takes it. Good chance for him, even though he has 2 players behind him. Lom goes in. Maradiaga defends it. The ball continues its run. And then he falls on the ground. The referee calls the foul. Was very close to the box. But it's only going to be a free kick from a dangerous area. And it looks like Maradiaga wants to take it because he's placing the ball just as he wants it. I see Avaloy, Lom coming closer. But it does look like one of those balls left foot he needs to kick.
Come on, man. You guys don't know how to keep the tempo. If you don't want to play, you come out quicker.
It does look like Maradiaga will go.
Keep the tempo, man. Keep that tempo all the way to the end. Why are we keeping up the tempo?
In the meantime, Sakwe is making sure the wall is positioned properly. We don't see any alligator or crocodile, whatever you want to call it. Under the wall, here comes a shot. Nice save by Sakwe. It was a good shot. Missed a little bit of that spacing. Right, didn't find the right corner. A little too much in the center, but they do get a corner kick. Avaloy. Lom jumps and he doesn't hit it. The ball goes directly out. So it's a goal kick again. A great exchange there, but Kalonji manages to keep the possession. This is an opportunity when you're on the 3-0 to try new things that will help you later on as an individual player, but also as a team. Pavlovsky goes long, intercepted. And in defense of Lom and Madiarda, they haven't received many dealable balls tonight.
Play quicker, man. Look, we're waiting too long. Too long. I mean, we're not positioning ourselves well enough. Let's go.
Kalonji.
Get moving, Sam. Get it. Let's go. Quick, quick, quick. Quicker, quicker. Titi, keep moving.
White.
Keep moving.
Pavlovsky, White, 1-2, beautiful. Now for Ramos. Ramos goes in. Not sure who that was for, but Tamimi's back on it.
Keep moving, keep moving.
Shot from the distance. An attempt. Sure, Fosuene was not impressed by that. We're talking about the amount of goals scored by Kalonji per profile. 44 at this point in the season. Only 11 allowed. And as a great coach in Italy said, Arrigo Sacchi, with good strikers, you win a game. With good defenders, you win a title. And so far, they've been demonstrating to be there because they're the best defense in the league, even ahead of Potros, who only conceded 12. We're see a yellow card for Kalonji. Goes wide. Lemus. 2 men on him. Looks for Lom, who passes it back to I don't know whom. So here's a chance for Tiente. Changes on the other side for White. A little long. He keeps it in though. White crossing. Tiente is there. Goes back into Mimi. Green, and then the shot goes out wide by Kalonji, who tried the volley, but it goes alle stelle. Ramos. Short pass, but Madiarda keeps it. Beautiful play there by Avaloy. Keeps it too long, though, once again. Tamimi. Karim Tamimi could go for the shot from the distance, out of the box. Tamimi, 1-2, goes away. Then crosses it. Finds the deflection, rather the wall. Interesting decision by Lom. And now the ball is back for Kalonji. Good timing there. But still, Kalonji is taking every chance. Finally, Fosuene grabs the ball and puts a little bit of peace in the Georgia United, North Georgia United end of the field. We're a minute 62, getting into minute 62. And that's a foul, clear foul by Tiente. And it seems obvious. Red card. Incredible. And that is something unexpected, red card. And I'm interested in the decision of the referee. It seemed like a tactical foul more than something charged up with violence. Let's look back at it. We saw Avaloy was going away. He wrapped his arm around him, and the referee decided that was a red card. Let's give it a look again. And it's hard to tell from these images. The yellow card, of course, we were in an area of orange, and obviously we don't have that in soccer. The referee had to take a decision. Red card. And that definitely reopens the discussions on the game, and it will make it even more interesting. If all this hasn't been enough for you guys, then let's add a red card to it. We've seen 3 goals. A coach substituting a goalkeeper after an injury and becoming the defender, the main defender of the goal, and now a red card at the 63rd minute of the first half. Now North Georgia United needs to change the approach of this game because, yes, they are under 3 goals, but they are playing 11 versus 10. And there's going to be more spaces, more holes, more movements, hopefully, from their side. And now it might be them doing the game. Lom opens out wide for Maradiaga. Diaga in the middle, Lom. Almost hits it. Finally, the referee calls at the end of this very long first half. We'll take a break after everybody drinks a cup of hot tea, and we'll be back. I mean, now it's 11 versus 10, so it doesn't dynamics. All right, guys, all of you got come on. Incredible first half. We saw 3 goals. We saw a coach substituting the goalkeeper and defending the goal himself, and then a red card at the 62nd minute of the first half, after we had to wait 50 minutes for the substitution to be happened. In fact, we had about 15, 16 minutes of added time. Impressive, obviously. I'm curious to see what will happen in this second half, because the word for today is unpredictability. Yes, Kalonji Pro Profile is winning 3-0, but it is also true that they're playing 10 versus 11 right now, because Tiente received a red card. I did have my doubts about that red card, and Bruno Kalonji, the coach of Kalonji Pro Profile, was not happy about that either. And here it is. They did the same exact thing that Paris Saint-Germain did in the final of the Champions League against Inter Milan. They kicked the ball right away on the other side of the field, giving a throw for North Georgia United. Obviously, they're going to try to put pressure here, and they do get the ball back, even though there is a foul. Orellana changes for Lemus. Good ball for Lom. Lom one-on-one, Lom against 3. Now changes. Good ball for Ramos. Ramos again for Lom. But the defending there is good, and the clearance brings the ball out. It's not over, though. North Georgia seems to have a different attitude. Maradiaga. Good movement by Orellana. And that's a good tackle. Very tough tackle, but clean. Ball back. Maradiaga goes, passes the ball. And now Orellana goes in. Floated cross. And the referee calls for a foul. And the defenders of Kalonji Pro Profile seem as surprised as I am. But maybe we'll get a replay to understand what exactly happened that the referee decided to call. And I think it was because the defender from Kalonji Pro Profile stepped on the foot of Max Ramos. Maradiaga on the ball, and also Avaloy. One would go with the left, one would go with the right. I see Avaloy moving a little bit on the right, exchanging a few words with Maradiaga. Not sure if they prepared something for this type of occasion. We'll see if it's going to be a cross in the middle. A blazed across in the middle or a shot. Maradiaga goes for the shot. But it's saved. It's not over. Orellana can't lose it there. Orellana manages to keep it, but then gives it back. Here comes Merdad. Merdad. Good play, goes away, crosses in for Tamimi. Too long. Two goals received by Mendiola in the first 15 minutes, and then the last goal was received by Coach Fosuene. Meantime, the ball went into the woods. A little bit of time to take it back. But it's in the hand of coach and goalkeeper Fosuene. Georgia seems to have a different attitude in this second half. They know they need to play a different game if they want to at least create the danger for Kalonji Pro Profile to leave some points on the way in favor of Potros FC. Orellana. Pressing there. But he keeps the ball. Under pressure of White. Green. Going from one color to the other. Kalonji. Opens for White. Here comes White. White. With the right foot, White. White. Goes back to Mimi. White, 1-2. It didn't work, and then Fosuena kicks it away. But Kalonji gets it. It's not over. Kalonji. Physically prominent in that middle of the field. And quick. Povolotsky, who's been trying to play his game with 1, 2, maximum 3 touches. Avaloy. Good movement by Madiarta. The timing is perfect. Cherry. Wolowski looks for space and then decides to go back to the defender. Ramos. Irving. White, good stop there. Then that changes, but the pass is not as good as this previous stop. Loma. Loses the timing and probably commits a foul, but the referee doesn't call it. Kimiani Irving, captain of the team. Good movement by Tamimi. Tamimi. He has one option only and decides to go for it unsuccessfully. And after a few moments of uncertainty, it seems like Kalonji Pro Profile has found again the control of the game, even though they're playing 10 versus 11. Radiaga takes it back and probably receives a foul. That could be a yellow card. The referee probably heard me and agreed with me. Another free kick. And it takes one goal to reopen this game. To psychologically change what it has been until this point. And to put some pressure on Kalonji Pro Profile. It's interesting to see like Fosuena is communicating even from there, from the goal with his coaching assistant on dynamics during the game. Obviously, his take on the game will be different since he's inside of it, actually living every moment. Maradiaga goes again into the box. Green is there. And then the counterattack starts. Good tackle, beautiful tackle by Orellana. Ramos goes wide again on the left. Maradiaga tries to go on the other side. Good exchange there, goes for the shot. But there was an offside. The referee is sure about that. In the meantime, I see Hilton and Argueta getting ready to hop on into the field. As we take a break, the substitution will occur Number 14, Hilton, Zane Hilton, and number 3, Argueta, coming in. Substituting Medard. And White. He goes on the right. Orellana. Pressure high immediately, but we got used to that. Avaloy. A lot of space right now in the middle. Ramos. Beautiful ball out wide. The cross in the middle could come. And he misses that chance, but he does get the corner kick, and that's what matters. Everybody in the box. Shot from the outside. Madiarda takes it back. Can't lose it there. Decides to go back wisely. Osuene goes back up. Manuel Lom goes up there too. Irving leaves it. Very smart decision there. Good communication with his goalkeeper. Goes long now. Green kicks it out. And then goes on the corner. Probably could have given a little bit more strength on that first hit. Would have avoided having to concede another corner for Kalonji Pro Profile. Cross in. Here we go again. I'm going to try to reach it. Nothing to do. Substitution for Georgia United. Double substitution. Coming out, Max Clare and Nick Huberti. I would love to tell you who got in, but Coach Fosuene was too busy in the halftime, and I can understand why. He's coaching, he's goalkeeping, he's doing it all. I might as well ask him to call the game as well. Busy man right now. Gets his arm out wide and then tries to look for a through ball. Good job by Tamimi, who tries to keep it in unsuccessfully, but you need to appreciate the effort on that. Even on the 3-0, he decides to try to go on a ball like that. Shows the character, the personality of a player who's been essential this season. Another technical mistake. The pressure of Hilton. Obolowski. Captain Irving. Huerta loses the ball. A foul was committed. Kalonji. Oski, good ball in the middle to Mimi. Now chance for a counterattack. Like to go back there and recompose. Maradiaga somehow gets away with that. Maradiaga. Good speed, good pace. Chased by all the players of Kalonji Pro Profile. Then goes wide. Ball in the middle. Lom reaches it and then kicks it. But it's right in the mouth of Sakue. No angle on that. He probably wasn't expecting to find the ball in between his feet. Easy catch for Sakue, who puts it out. And this was probably one of the biggest opportunities for North Georgia United. Missed by Emmanuel Lom. Kalonji obtains a throw-in for his team. And we see Tamimi coming out in favor of Hinene. And we see the brother of Pavlotsky, number 13, Josh Pavlotsky, coming in for Kalonji. Pardon, for Ramos. Meantime, we're at the 64th minute of the game, and it doesn't seem at this point that North Georgia United has it to make an incredible comeback and even it up 3-3 to steal some essential points from the chase at the title of Kalonji Pro Profile. Avaloy. There's definitely much more space right now in the middle of the field. Good exchange, and now he could go on that left side, but loses it. Irving. Ball taken back, no foul. Ball in. Irving again. Omnipresent. Now counterattack. Double substitution. You see Ramos coming out. And Lemos, Gonzalo Lemos. A little bit of tension here. Few words coming from number 22. The referee doesn't appreciate that. An exchange with Kalonji. The two seem to be a little nervous, and the ref decides to punish that with a yellow card. You don't want things like that to escalate. In the meantime, we hear in the background, like a broken radio, Bruno Kalonji asking his players to play quicker, faster. Good 1-2 here. A cross in could come, but he decides to go for the dribbling. The defending by Green. He puts it in corner again.
Kalonji receives, goes back, ball in. Kalonji fights in there. Does not receive a foul as he had hoped for. Long ball. Emmanuel Lom runs for it. Irving is there with all his defense. Hilton. Can't receive the ball this time. Pavlovsky. Pavlovsky again. Josh Pavlovsky. Exchanges for his brother. Moving the ball from side to side quickly. Nice ball for Hilton. He could shoot. He does. Too high. There's a deflection. Another corner. Here comes the cross in. Here comes the shot. Deflected, and the ball is for North Georgia United. Thinking about what to do. We've learned that in this game, there's not much time to think when Kalonji Pro Profile is attempting all that pressing. Now North Georgia trying to restart the play. Lom loses it again. Far away from his best shape. Good play by Orellana. Switches it up. It's a good ball. And now Maradiaga receives it. And unfortunately for him, it was an offside. Then there was a tackle after the offside was called. The referee goes back to make sure that Maradiaga is doing well. And it would have been just fair if Irving had waited, at least after committing that foul, to make sure the opponent was doing fine, especially considering it was being committed after the offside was called. Here comes a chance for Hilton, but Green kicks it out this time as a throw-in. Provides the ball. We're going to start from throw in again. Sherry taking care of that. Sherry, another good cross, but this time nobody was in the box. Josuena goes long. Pavlovsky. Interesting to see the two brothers playing in the midfield together. Ball in the middle. Hilton hits it with his head. It was an offside. Come on the left side. Ellie, you stay about right side, Kevin. Go
see Avaloi coming on the field. Everybody in the midfield for North Georgia United has been substituted. The game starts again. Ball for number 22. Calls for teammates. Finds one. Maradiaga does a beautiful play. Get rid of the pressing and changes on the other side. Orellana reaches it somehow. Good space here. He could go for the shot. Decides to go wide. Maradiaga goes on the one-on-one. Maradiaga goes for the shot. This time it's a post. What a chance for Ronald Maradiaga. And we've seen this during the entire game. Ball going from one side to the other. Maradiaga goes on the one-on-one. Closes with the left. And this time he's unlucky because he hits the post after the goalkeeper seemed defeated. Play of class by Ronald Maradiaga. Corner play quick and short. Shot coming in. High once again, but at least North Georgia United is creating opportunities. Hopefully for them, the changes will, in fact, change the dynamics of this game. 17 minutes on the clock left. Another substitution. This time it's Marvel Velasquez leaving the field. 5 substitution done on the side of North Georgia United. 6, pardon, if we consider Fosuene as well. And only 3 on the side of Kalonji Pro Profile. Kalonji now playing in the back after the entrance of Povoletsky. Good chance now for North Georgia United coming in the box. Cross in the middle. And the ball ends out. It's a goal kick. Meantime, Fosuene asks for quality. For a moment in which you need that type of play to wake up the team. The idea was good. Technically, the cross was a little too out wide. And they missed another chance. But many more created in the second half. After Tiente received that red card at minute 63. Changes in the field. 1-2. The density of players there was very high. Committed a foul. Green comes in first this time. And that's a bad ball lost. Here comes a chance, and you can't do anything. It's a goal from the new entry, Argueta. Finds the goal of the 4-0 and absolutely closes the game, locks it and seals it. Let's look back at it. Another mistake during the build-up of the play. Argueta takes the chance and puts it on the right corner. Fosuene can just look at it. He tried to dive for it, couldn't do anything. The corner was found, and now Georgia United is going to have to limit the damages in these last 15 minutes. Definitely something to think about. Even though they had the superiority in terms of men on the field, they still conceded a goal 4-0. The Kalonji Pro Profile.
Bawa, he can say, show me. What's the problem? He can say, show me all day long. What's the problem?
He's inflaming them needlessly.
So if you say, show me, you can say, show me.
Again, tension
He says, show me.
on the side of Bruno Kalonji, who's calling in the referee.
Talking to the other, he says, show me. Show me is what?
He needs to be careful because he already has a yellow card. He cannot allow for the level of frustration to raise high enough for the referee to have to take repercussions.
Show me is a problem.
The bench of North Georgia United was asking for a second yellow card, but the referee disagreed on that.
Can I come closer to Kimani?
In the meantime, we see a throw-in for North Georgia. Ball comes in, tense, and it wasn't too far from the upper post of the goal defended by Sakue. Kowalski now trying to find another opportunity to score the goal of the 5-0. Moving the ball quick, just as the coach asks. Povolowski again. And now Georgia United comes out. Orellana can add a little bit of pace on that. Here they come. Quick exchanges. Green goes wide. Big change. Diaga changes again. Here comes a good opportunity. They're in the 3/4 of the field. Ball could come in. Still taking a second. Here it comes. Good cross. Nobody there once again. And now here comes a chance, but Fosuene kicks it away like a pro. And then that's a missed touch. And we see an assistant coach, the assistant coach of Fosuene, complaining he will receive a yellow card just like Bruno Kalonji did just before the game started. The tension of this point of the game has risen, especially on the side of North Georgia United. And that ball, and they're just next to me. Glad it didn't hit my computer. Still intact. Ball out wide. Cross in, it's a shot. Something in between. That was a good chance, but it's not over. Here's another one. The ball goes out. Not by much. Look at this replay. The catch didn't seem too safe from the goalie. Here you see the ball opening out wide. Shot with the left. It's too high.
I don't have another one.
Minute 82. 82. So 8 to play. And I'm not sure whether the referee will give added time considering the result of the game. It's always a decision they will take. On a similar result, Inter Milan versus Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League final, no added time was given. Irving. Wolowski. Geta. You already found the goal. Let's see if he can find another good play. Arregeta. Shot from the distance, deflection, and Foswini does everything he can to not make it a corner. Unfortunately, he doesn't get to the ball on time, so it is a corner. In the meantime, we get the news that Dalton United defeated FC Birmingham 5-0. Let's look at this corner. It goes out. Wolowski kicks it. Not hard enough. And 2 in the center of the goal. Foswini has an easy catch on that one. The tackle by Kalonji shows, I mean, the absolute care for the game, for the details, for not allowing any goal, even on this result. They wouldn't be one of the best defenses, if not actually the best defense in the league, if they didn't have this attitude and this approach to the game. Just outside the box. Could go for a shot. Goes out wide. Almost all man in the box. Cross in. No handball there. And then that's way too long for Hernane. Didn't believe in it. Goes in the woods. Another one in the woods. Good luck to whoever's paid to go get that ball. Dalton looking for spaces. He's out. And then the shot comes in. He didn't find the right coordination. The ball went too much to his right, and as he was trying to kick it, his left foot was too far away from the ball, which didn't allow him for the right impact. Maradiaga. Changes on the left. Good defending right there. He's able to stop it and then kick it away without even considering the corner. Good ball there on the left. Could come back in. The attention, the extreme attention of the defense, the Kalonji pro profile. Admirable. Yes, they have conceded some chances, but considering they've been playing 10 versus 11, it's impressive how they've been able to hold up onto the field. Corner in. Goalie gets with it with his fist. And the referee called a charge on the referee. Foul. And then it runs for it, but he decides to just take this throw in himself. Argueta. Really quick on his feet. Beautiful. Goes away from one. Argueta. Goes away from two. Argueta. 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 It would have been the beautiful end to a quick, fast, beautiful play by Argueta. He received the ball from Enene, who played it quick. Acts like he wants to pass it to Enene. Sends one defender to the bar, goes away from the other twice, and then goes for the shot. Unfortunately, the ball didn't bend the way he had hoped for. Maradiaga now stepping more into the midfield. Long ball. And here's the biggest chance now. Shot that goes high once again. Nice ball by Maradiaga. Goes long in through on the left. Lom gives it back in. And then the chance was all up as it went up the upper post. Enene looking for a chance to score one goal. And then it goes in, and the ball just stopped on the line. Incredible. It seemed that it was going in, but Fosuene did a miracle to keep it out. He got probably a little injured, but he continues as the action does. Ball in, and somehow they keep it out. Incredible. The referee calls for a foul on the side of North Georgia United, even though they were launched for a counterattack. One of the biggest opportunities of their game right now, stopped by the referee. This said the result is on the 4-0, but obviously with the frustration of the result, you add up a negative call. It's easy to allow emotions to prevail. Long ball in. Beautiful stop. Goes for the... He tried to kick it and then fainted it. And then when it was actually time to kick it, he does. But the defender at that point was not tricked. He was there, ready on time. 4 minutes of added time. Only 4 minutes. Good ball for Enene. Enene in front of the goal. Enene. Enene. Beautiful save. And then it's not over. Here comes the shot. Incredible Fosuene, the coach who stepped into the field to save two incredible shots by the opposition. And this one goes high. And if the result had been different, these saves would have been absolutely wonderful and talked about in the next several days, if not months. Beautiful save on one. The ball goes in. We're absolutely sure this one's going to go in. But Fosuene says no again. It's not going to be a great look for North Georgia United. But what a performance by Fosuene. Gaga by himself, then passes it. And then Kalonji's there once again, against 3, kicks it out. Impressive performance, probably one of the best on the field. Ball in. Dribbles 1, dribbles 2, but remains in the same position. The shot comes once again, alle stelle. Only 1 minute and 30 seconds left on the clock.
Go get it, man. Akimani, play again. Let's go, let's go. Let's go.
And Ennis stops it, but loses it right away. Last chance for North Georgia United to find 1 goal. Here it comes. Shot from out of the box. Great save this time by the goalkeeper of a Kalonji Pro Profile. He says no. And here comes the counterattack. Maybe for the 5-0. Hinene running in. Blazed across in the middle, but the ball goes out. Goal kick. Look at the replay. Shot from outside of the box. Sakwe puts it out. The defender brings it out. Blasting the ball up, and then the counterattack for Kalonji Pro Profile started, but it didn't end successfully. Coach Fosuene, it's ready to kick what will probably be the last ball of the game. The referee is holding the whistle in his mouth. He whistles and it's all over. Kalonji Pro Profile beats North Georgia United 4-0 in a game that had all sorts of things happening, starting from the coach becoming the goalkeeper, yellow cards given even before the beginning of the game to Bruno Kalonji, several goals, several opportunities, a lot of fun. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Massimo Bolu.
This has been a presentation of the UPSL. Any use of this broadcast without the written consent of the Atlantic Soccer Media Group is prohibited.